fishing, it's in my soul.
Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
Nice, fish on. Ooh, looks like a snook. Nice work, Jojo.
Yeah,
is that a snook? Yeah. Snook time on a cloudy, nasty day.
Woo, baby. What's up, everybody? It's Joe Simons, Like Diamonds, Luke Simon, Slam Shady Strikes again. Nice little snook. We've got a trout, 2 snook now, and what, jacks?
Jacks, ladyfish.
It's a tough day here.
You're looking for a red now to complete the slam. But yeah, this is a big front just came in. This is April, and hopefully the last cold front of the year.
Here we go. Little guy, but hey. Cody, we'll take it. Oh, Slam Shady's popping out there. Get him back in the water. Yeah, so we're doing this one because you can see I got my jacket on, and you can see, just look at the clouds here around us. It was raining. We actually had to go back inside because we're complete pansies, but it did look pretty gnarly out. And we almost debated just like staying inside and catching up on emails and stuff, but man, I already driven over from Winter Haven, and Cody was here. Boat was ready, and you know what? Some days it's like this, right? We don't get to pick your day.
It's gotta go when you can go.
So you gotta make the best out of it. So let's talk about the type of area we're fishing for those who are listening. You can't kind of see this beautiful mangrove line, and you can see right here, Cody, if you look to the left, some oysters. Right over here, some oysters. It's pretty clear water. So we're only in a 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water right here.
Yep. Yeah, and we're just trying to get out of the wind.
Artificial lures.
Literally just trying to get out of the wind.
And we're not doing a good job because now we're casting into it.
Yeah, because the wind, this is nothing right here. The wind, it's a forecast to be over 20, and it's got to be there right now. It's cranking. The whitecaps are really big up in this bay, which isn't that big of a bay, but we're just up here against this shoreline. We've got some mullet jumping, which is a good sign. We've got mangroves, we've got oysters, and we have Slam Shadies on, and just punching into the wind right now and covering ground.
And we've got owner twist lock hooks. Both of us have 1/8, right?
Yeah,
you got
3/0 size hook with 1/8 weight.
Great for the shallow water.
Yeah, you
rig it weedless.
Have to have it just for being weedless. With all we got oysters around, we got a bunch of grass. So if we didn't have a weedless setup, we'd just be fighting off snags all day long.
And the first snook that I caught before we were filming was skipping underneath the mangrove line. That's just another reason to have these hooks on you. Doesn't mean you're always going to use them. We use a lot of jig heads, but when you have that opportunity where you see that, you even called it out a second we pulled up to that area, and I'd never even fished the spot before. You're like, man, look at that overhang there of those mangroves, and to be able to skip underneath there without getting hung up, and really it's priceless when you get a strike right off the bat. Yeah, this is tough going. Comment down below if you think 2021 might be the windiest start to any year for fishing ever. It's been crazy.
That's been a lot of wind.
And we got some friends who are big into offshore fishing, and they're like, man, we haven't even gone out the boat because every weekend we had open. At least with inshore fishing, another reason we love it so much, because we used to be into offshore fishing. Our dad was really kind of moving that way, and like he had probably a year just like this, summer of '86. And he said, you know what, I'm sick and tired of it. And our friend Ouija Bentley was getting into flats fishing down in Marco Island. And our dad got on the back of that. And back then, I mean, now every day, you see a flats boat, and it's just, skiffs are just kind of natural. I mean, back in the 80s, I mean, not that many people had poling platforms in the Tampa area. They're always down in the Keys. But it wasn't that common to see legit poling platform skiffs and flats boats like we see them today. And our dad finally said, you know what, I'm done with this offshore stuff. I'm going to start doing inshore fishing, and sold the offshore boat we had with outriggers and all that, and we haven't really looked back since. I still enjoy offshore fishing occasionally, but man, this is probably one of the worst years ever for it. Not because the fish aren't biting, it just sucks getting out there.
Yep.
Wind's blowing. We've had just so many. This is like our third podcast of the year already on how to fish 20-mile-an-hour days. And
it's been brutal.
You see that?
That's a needlefish.
Oh, it's a needlefish? Dang.
Yep.
Slam shade tracks again.
Everything eats it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely been windy, and with the whole inshore fishing too. Like we'd go offshore and catch a lot of sea bass and stuff. Like going out to Daytona, grew up doing that, and I always thought that the further out you go, the bigger the fish are. And so I wasn't even that interested. I did a lot of bass fishing, and for me, saltwater is all about getting far out there, and there you can catch the big fish. But in reality, I mean, there's some of these inshore fish will fight just as bit as hard, if not harder, than a lot of offshore. Obviously, when we add tarpon in the mix, then that's a whole different ballgame. But even snook, redfish, when you get them over 40 inches, that's a proper fight. Like that's no need to go offshore for some big fish is what I eventually learned.
Yep. Earlier too, just kind of a cool tip. So Luke made a cast, and what did you put your rod down for? You stopped for something. I don't even remember what it was.
I was messing with the troll motor.
I was messing with the troll motor. And guess what? He got the hit on basically on the drop and letting it sink. And so you made the good point. Hey, this might be a good time to slow it down. Anytime that you see that happening, and maybe even just purposely make a stop instead of your normal retrieve, try something a little bit different. And guess what? That snook, caught in the trees. That snook that I just caught, that was from slowing it down a little. Man, everything loves that slam shady. Mangrove, dude. Come on. There we go. Jeez Louise. It's the beauty of these podcasts, guys. They're live. You get to see everything.
Good, the bad, and the ugly.
We always say, even if you're fishing with us, you don't get caught in a tree every once in a while. You're not casting aggressively enough. If you do it 15 times, Joe, you get thrown over.
The key is you just have to catch more fish than mangroves.
Exactly.
So that's the
there is
the barometer.
You can't use that excuse forever. Hey, you guys told me I wouldn't be aggressive enough.
Just when I said that, I'm about to get stuck in this tree.
Oh boy, it's embarrassing.
Oh, got out.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this underwater stuff, where Luke is taking a pretty big camera. Ooh, did you see that?
Oh, that was a better fish there.
Dang, it looked like a little snook.
That might have been our redfish.
I thought it was a snook, but either way, something just came up and hammered me. But he's taken, a pretty big, it's not like one of these hidden cameras you can barely see. I mean, it's a monster. And catching trout after trout, and big trout. I mean, there's some 24 inchers on there using this slam shady, and I don't know what to tell you guys. If you're not using it yet, I mean, you're missing out. There is nothing we've ever found out there like that.
Yeah, I've been testing this underwater videography stuff for a while, and obviously testing on a bunch of different lures, and this is definitely the one that has proven to get the best results. Like even with the camera mounted right in front of it. So it's just easy. It's just easy to use.
So simple to use. My little 9-year-old daughter can use it. Everybody can use it. It's just like, hey, make a cast, do a straight retrieve. Obviously, there's some advanced stuff you could do. There's some advanced rigging, and we provide all that. It's part of the membership. Even if you just get one pack, we just want to help people out. End of the day, though, we want people joining our club. That's where all the magic happens. It's where it's fun for us to interact. The community now is just exploding.
Oh man, I just.
Oh, you're going out there, huh? Where were you? Good brother.
Don't you worry about
right
that.
Behind.
Don't you worry about that. I need to stop using my yellow line so you can't see where it is.
You need to stop saying something. Oh, on the bottom. That's what I say. On the bottom. Oh, on the bottom. But anyhow, that slam shady works so well, and we're playing around with a couple of new colors as well. Even though we probably don't have to, I know fishermen are, including yours truly, which is why we're doing it. And we are going to play around with some colors. I know there's some people in Texas and other states that say, hey, you should get something a little darker. And we've heard people say, I've had really good luck on kind of a black looking lure. And I know even that at one point, a black, what was it? The black Johnson Sprite spoon was like deadly.
Johnson Silver Minnow.
I don't know if they stopped making them or what happened. So we're playing around with that, and so far it's working pretty good.
I saw one on Amazon.
You did?
Yeah.
You buy it?
No.
Huh.
No, well, but yeah, as far as other colors, we're gonna test them. We're not just gonna make them and put them on the side. We have some now. We're gonna start testing them, and we're only going to take them live if they prove to work.
Yeah, we test everything.
Yep. Looks like a little creek mouth right here. Ooh,
it kind of deserves a strike.
That
Let me zoom
could
in
be.
on that little creek mouth there.
That could be, that should be snook spot there.
See if old JoJo can. Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, that was actually almost a good cast.
Yep. It still ended up well.
We'll get one more shot up in there.
And it's so clear back here.
Oh, ricocheted off.
Mammy. It's tough. We're literally casting right into the wind. Probably hear it on our mics. It makes it a little bit tougher to cast, especially on these little twist lock hooks, but we be getting it done.
So now we are finally, this is the spot I was really aiming to go to, where it's just totally out of the wind. If there were fish up here, this water's clear enough where we could actually be sight fishing, and it's kind of rare where you can sight fish and, you know, when the wind's cranking, but
there we go.
if you,
there we go.
Oh, double.
Double up, double trouble,
Mine
baby.
might be a red. Mine was out in the open flat.
I think mine's a snooky.
But yeah, so it's really about even if the wind's cranking, yeah, I got a red. So this is
nice.
This is going to complete the slam. So even when the wind's
on a
cranking,
tough day. Not a big a snook, but still give me a little bit of fight.
When the wind's cranking, just got to choose your spot accordingly. Right, this is a spot I generally don't fish very much. I have been here a couple times, and this is the best I've done. But it really just came here just because of it was the type of spot based on the conditions. That's what we preach over and over and over again. It's not about the specific spot. It's all about matching the spot to the conditions. So let me go ahead and get this red. This is a nice little, what you got there, dude?
So we're gonna get a little double pick real quick, dude.
Might as well.
Got mine up. Let's hurry up and get yours. We get Cody in the quick pick. Luke can hurry up and get his.
Come on there, buddy.
Tell me if you're ready, because I need to dip mine back in.
All right.
There we go. That's a beautiful red. Slam Shady strikes again.
So they're not huge, but
We'll take them.
Sloppy weather, and we will take it. Look at that blue tail in there. That's awesome.
Let me get him back in quick. Woo. Still got some energy in him. Let me get a quick little pick of that, Luke. We'll put this on the fishing report for Insider members.
Better make it fast. Oh,
too late.
We're letting
Get
him
it back in. Doggone face recognition, you know. Doesn't recognize me with
gotta be ready for those pictures.
All these buffs and stuff on.
But yeah, this is just, again, just case in point where it's not all about picking the perfect weather, perfect day. Just go when you can go and just plan accordingly. And that was a nice little double.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that. Even like the strike score was really low today. I think it was like a 5 or something.
If you guys don't know about the strike score, so we've had it open. That's smartfishingtides.com. And we've had it open to the public for a while. A lot of it was just to get some more feedback from a lot of people. And I'll be honest with you, it got really expensive really fast, you know, because we're getting real-time data like every 5 to 10, 15 minutes from NOAA and a few other places, and even the Google API. And there's Navionics. I mean, there's all this stuff on there.
The radar, the map radars.
Golly. So all of a sudden we get a bill one month for just all these APIs. I mean, it was thousands of dollars. And you know, it's a completely free site for the public. And obviously that number, the 1,000, whatever, 4,000 or 5,000, whatever it was, it's based on total amounts of users. So what we are going to be doing, most likely here very soon, is we are going to make it private just for Insider members only. One more reason to join us in the club. Not only can you save money on all your tackle, rods, reels, line, lures, etc., but we go out on the water, we show exactly where we're fishing, where we launched, why we picked that spot, why fish were in certain areas at certain times, based on real trends. And we do this in Texas, do it in Florida. And the beauty of it, all these trends are working everywhere. And then we have the community. And now, of course, we're going to have the Smart Fishing Tides, and a few little things we'll be potentially adding on to that as well, which we can't share yet here publicly. But I'm pumped, and you guys listen to the podcast on the tackle industry. That's just been one of the toughest parts of kind of this trifecta of what we're doing: tackle, on the water, premium content, and then the community. But it's slowly, like, it's not back to normal, and it won't be for a long time, but it's slowly getting better. We're starting to get some orders in, got some TFO rods. By the time you listen to this, it might be sold out. because this stuff goes so fast. We got some fuegos finally coming in. We put a Mondo.
Yeah, biggest order we've ever put in for
Mondo
any
order
reels.
of fuegos. Possibly the biggest order Daiwa's ever seen. I mean, for that one SKU, I'm willing to bet we're doing more than Bass Pro for that specific time nationwide.
Probably it's a significant
crazy
amount.
And same with, Z-Man told us that, they're licensing Slam Shady from us. So we had the 2.0 and the Bomber. That's obviously just for Salt Strong. And the Z-Man version, obviously you can buy now anywhere in the world. And that's the top selling color in the Minnow Z in the world right now. It's beating every single thing that's out there.
It just flat out works.
Which is pretty cool. Exactly, because it flat out works. Man, I keep going back to it. And I want other stuff to work, right? And a lot of people ask, hey, we're trying stuff all the time. Earlier today, we were trying some other lures, and I don't know what it is. Just keep going back to that Slam Shady. Sucker works. So, what's the tide doing right now? We even talked about that.
It is not doing much. It was really not a good day.
Wind driven.
It's slow. We have a slow incoming right now, but it's very minimal. Like when we were going under a bridge, there was basically, it's a bridge that in many cases the current's cranking through, and it was barely moving.
Yeah, it makes it tough.
I'm dying to get a little sight fishing shot in. This water is abnormally clear.
Cody, can you see that? Over there on the left, just how clear this is.
Can't tell if that's a fish there or not. I'm gonna make you cast
it. Where?
No, don't
Show me
you.
where.
Don't you worry about it.
See if Luke messes it up. And ooh, beautiful cast. Yes.
If that's a fish, we've got a good chance of getting them.
That one right there?
Yeah, I don't think it's a fish. Nope.
Oh. Ah, what a bummer. Deep down, I wanted you to catch it, though. Make us both look better. We're coming out here like, I thought you guys caught fish every single cast. Well, some days we do. Not today. We haven't had one of those trout days in a while where it's like every cast where you find that.
Yeah.
That's cool. So let's talk about, I know I've seen some insider reports. Is that something chasing you?
Yeah, so that's a needlefish. There's an oyster bar right there.
Of a lot of people looking for wade fishing spots. It comes up a lot. It's something that I personally love to do. And man, look at all that bait. I was just down in Placida, Florida. If you guys don't know where that is, it's Port Charlotte area, near Punta Gorda, and had just a killer 3 days in a row. It wasn't just like a fluke, pun intended, of one day. It was 3 days in a row of all just wade fishing. And I just went underneath some of the little bridges and causeways. And the one key in 100% of my catches was moving water. And in particular, I was fishing a bridge that we had an outgoing tide. So all this water is flooding out. And so the water's going out this way. Bridges, let's just say this fishing rod, this cork. And so I'm here casting up underneath the bridge and retrieving back. And I was using both the Slam Shady and the Power Prawn. Both did really, really well. And it was really interesting. Right underneath the bridge, like right where the shadow line is where all the big snook were. And I caught a couple snook, lost a couple as well. And then it was really interesting right behind it. It was almost like the snook were getting first dibs at all this shrimp and the bait that was going under getting pushed out from this outgoing tide. And then right behind it were a ton of trout and even mangrove snapper. And it was just fascinating. And I was having trouble catching the snook because they get a little bit picky. They start realizing when one of their buddies gets hooked. So I just started casting kind of back behind the bridge where I was still going with the current, but not like I was with the snook. And I was just catching tons of trout and tons of mangrove snapper all right there. It was almost like they were getting the leftovers from the snook. I thought it was really, really fascinating. But for those of you who are looking to wade fish, especially if you're on vacation, spring break, whatever it might be, is that I thought that was a redfish tailing. It's just a bunch of mullet. Try those causeways, try the bridges, and even at night. The best night I had was when my wife and kids, we've been out in the boat all day, and the sandbar, they were so worn out, and I went out there just by myself from like 10 at night until midnight. I finally just got tired of catching fish, and I had just an absolute blast. There were two other dudes, two young guys that came out on the bridge, and they had some shrimp and did well also. That's just such an easy way to do it. It's usually not too packed. If you are fishing the causeways, like I know a lot of people will go down to Clearwater in terms of the Gulf side here. It's a popular place for spring break and for vacations. I mean, there's multiple causeways there. Honeymoon Island is an amazing place. You can walk all the way down. I would say start early. Don't you agree, Luke? Or late. I mean, because at some point, a lot of these places, they get a lot of people. Even that causeway there in Dunedin, it's an amazing place to fish. It can be brutal, though, by 12 by high noon, and it's just hot. But there's just so many people out there, partying and hanging out. So go super early or super late, depending on the tide. If the water's not moving, you don't have a chance. It is going to be really, really, really slow. Ask me how I know. As much as we want to think, oh yeah, I got the right bait, and no, if the water's not moving in places like that when you're wade fishing and fishing bridges, it's going to be really, really, really tough.
Yeah, and really the nighttime is. Did you catch any fish there during the day?
I didn't try. It was all evening.
Night.
Because that was when the outgoing tide was all 3 nights.
Because the bridge fish, they get targeted a lot, right? They do, fish aren't the smartest, but they do wisen up when they keep getting yanked out of the water over and over again. And nice.
Oh my goodness, dude! What was that?
Yeah, big red.
That nailed me right when I was up at the boat. That was crazy.
I was hanging out with all that bait fish thing. I made about 10 casts through there. I figured there'd be something in there.
Didn't have that magic touch. You know what I got on mine? Dr. Juice. Telling you, that juice is loose.
But yeah, just super important to just keep that in mind for wade fishing, really for just shore fishing alone. If I'm doing it during the day, I'm wade fishing, or I'm getting some wading boots on. Ooh. And I'm getting away from the places that get fished all the time. Because if you're fishing from the bridge in the middle of the day, those fish get targeted a lot. If you put on some boots and even walk just 100 yards away, that can totally change where the fish are a lot less spooky. Ooh. They'll eat artificials willingly.
Can you edit that one out, Cody? Horrible cast. I do want you to look over here. Can you see all this bait on top of the water? Can you see all that, Cody? I mean, so guess what we saw right when we pulled up? Birds. Now you see, I mean, you could actually hear, maybe you can hear the bait if you're listening to this. There's bait everywhere. A lot of it's mullet. And man, it's 2 of the B's. And obviously, now we know there's some fish, but you got some boils, and those are the 3 B's. Maximize them. So we tried an area early, trying to fish some docks. There's one area that was completely out of the wind, so that part was nice. But there's no bait, no birds, no boils. I mean, look at all that bait. So there's some fish around here. And I just had that, I'm assuming, a redfish come up and pop me right next to the boat.
That was a big boil.
Yeah, it was taking out line right away, too. But I wasn't ready to set the hook. Man, did you see that? There's a lot of bait over there.
I know where to go catch mullet now.
Seriously. Don't need any blackout chum for all that. Just throw the net. Run that dog. You see all that bait, Code? Someone's going to get mad at me saying, let Cody talk. He's not mic'd up. Hear that one comment? Stop talking over Cody. You don't ever let him answer. He's shaking his head. What camera's shaking? That was pretty funny. Whoop! Dang. They're getting antsy. So yeah, a lot of good bait. This area looks awesome. And at least casting out that way, we can go with the wind.
Yeah, we're about to go in this little funnel area. We're about to get wind blasted here in a second.
So, Luke, talk about some other good spots, because that's really what it's all about, right? Is, we know we got the slam shady. That's going to work when we find the fish. At the end of the day, you got to be in a feeding zone. What other kind of spots can you fish when it's this windy and overcast?
Well, I mean, not many, right? That's why we pretty much have to sit right here for a while.
Well, I'm not talking about this spot exactly, but I'm trying to get out of you. Is it, coves? You try to go behind super high 2- and 3-story homes, these big monster homes.
Yeah, just get out of the wind. So anything that blocks wind. So whether it's
anything you need to keep cold, Tommy.
Yeah.
We keep all kinds of things in this fridge. beers, Coke.
6-pack of beer.
Anything you want to keep cold.
Yeah, so we started, the first spot was we were dock fishing, right? Because this is actually a cold front coming in as well. This is hopefully the last one of the year I mentioned earlier. And
let's get this bag up too.
And yeah, good call. Yeah, see trash in the water, pick it up.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get out by itself.
Nope.
But yeah, just get out of the wind, because once we get, even this little area is still pretty protected, but you can see those flags up there, those things are charged up. It is cranking. And so,
over there, I wonder if they're having any luck.
So,
all right, Luke saved the day. That's the good deed.
See, slam shadies even catch trash. Does a good deed.
Also means some good karma. You got the trolling motor. You're
focused on that
slowly
bag.
moving into the death trap.
Yeah, first spot we did those docks just because with the cold front, a lot of the fish will push off the shallows. But apparently it's just stayed warm enough that these fish are up here shallow. The docks were kind of slow. We caught some junk fish, we caught some small trout, jacks, ladyfish. And all this seems like at least the snook and redfish action have been up here shallow.
Look at that boat getting pushed around by the wind.
Yeah.
It is cranking over there.
I still haven't fished this shoreline right here before, so I'm curious to try it out.
Wind will push us right down the edge.
Yeah, we'll see.
But even, Cody, if you look over here, you can see the water. We can just start right there. Now, good news is you don't have to have a trolling motor or power pole. It helps a little bit when it's not blowing perfectly for you. But if you missed that other podcast, look at that guy's trying to dock, and it's tough to even dock when it's cranking like that. Or maybe they just got caught on something.
Ooh, that was something that just struck right there.
You sure?
Yeah.
Golly, did you see that? Almost boomerang back to me. But anyhow, finding a mangrove line, anything that has some structure and protection and just letting the wind blow you down is a great way to at least catch some fish. Cody's all over that plastic bag. The last thing you want to do is save the day. Oh, dude, something just spooked out there.
That was a mullet.
Dang, this wind is just brutal.
Yeah, and so a tip for fishing the wind, obviously try to position so you're not casting into the wind. That's rule number one. But you can't always do that. Like right now, something struck up here at this point, and last thing I want to do is go motor all around and then come back with it. So we're just charging right into it. The key for casting is to keep it low. You want to basically get under the wind. The lower it is, the lower the wind level is. And so you need to get to a sidearm and just punch it up in there. Right? That wind, it didn't go quite as far as, it obviously didn't go nearly as far as if I was casting with the wind. But if I did an overhand cast, like a normal overhand lob cast, it would have probably gone half the distance. So if you just got to punch in the wind, keep it low, and just line drive it.
Let me use my strong hand.
Line drive it through there.
Whoa, getting caught up in the microphone. Cord came out. Wind's blowing everything up in here. Oh, they were trying to dock. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They're just getting blown all over the place. Yeah, this is brutal. Oh, man, you see that? Took a turn for the worst.
So yeah, let's see. So we fished the calm area. It was okay. I'm sure there's more fish there. I just don't think they're feeding all that well. But we picked up a couple. So now we're gonna try this windy side, and it's gonna feel nice. We're gonna be casting extremely far.
We're gonna feel like we're a lot stronger. Ooh.
Yeah, much further.
Oh yeah. That bombs away. Now you can go overhand.
So we'll see if we can get any action up here.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a couple. So what else we got? What else are we working on? Got some new courses. So Richard, if you guys haven't talked to him, that means you might not be a newer member. We hired Richard just to start contacting new members. Now he's reaching out to existing ones as well after he gets done with it. But we've had so many new members join the club. I mean, we're having some where it's 100 in a day. That's 100 phone calls, which literally takes all 8 hours. But Richard is reaching out to new members every day and welcoming them to the club. Making sure you guys got your email, and we're even now doing some text to make sure that you get in the community, that you're able to get all your discounts, able to get all the courses, etc. And then he asked, hey, what are some challenges you're having, or what are a few things that you'd like us to film for you particularly. And he says one of the main things right now is boating. It seems like there's a ton of new boaters, a ton of people joining the boating clubs like Freedom Boat Club. He says like that's one of the number one things I am hearing. So guess what? We're going to be doing a ton. Doesn't mean that's all we're doing, but we are going to put an emphasis for a while on boating, on everything from the accessories for your boat, how to trailer your boat, the right way to take care of your boat so it lasts longer, and ultimately how to catch more fish from your boat, whether it's yours or whether it is a Freedom Boat Club, etc. But that was really interesting.
Yeah, and if you have any topics in particular you want us to do, leave a comment down below.
Oh man,
look at that! We'll add it to the list.
Oh, pop off! This could be a perfect. Oh yes, oh yes. This deserves a strike right here. Oh, that deserves a strike. Come on, baby. Man, can you guys hear this wind? It is cranking. We need some cranka crabs. You ever catch anything with those cranka crabs, by the way? No? Cranka? Sorry. We love Australia, but not the biggest fan of the cranka crabs yet.
Yeah, so here's the wind we were talking about, and we're still not getting the brunt of it. This is still hadn't had much time to speed up. So let's see if we can find something on this spot.
So what are your thoughts about we're now casting with the wind, but are we missing fish because the fish are positioned the other way?
I mean, if they're here, they're just going to be spread out, and so I mean they're not going to be facing into the wind, just be doing it. Like they're going to be out. The current's not moving, the wind's not pushing water that fast. They'll be kind of sitting in whichever direction. Because doing underwater footage, I can see the trout, what they're doing before they start moving.
Yeah.
And up on these flats, they're facing all different directions. Oh, I just had a hit.
So where?
It's more about just the angle of the pothole or wherever the bait is relative to them.
They could cast back there. Look at that stump over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and power pull down right here. Jack is blowing off here. It's just
that's just
a little bit gnarly.
Man. Look at this little stump. It's super shallow back there, but I'm willing to bet that there's probably a snook or two.
I'm gonna go ahead and move this bag and put it in the live well to keep it out of harm's way.
One of my favorite places to catch snook. Skipping the little paddle tail underneath the mangroves. Look at all the mullet jumping.
Ooh-wee, there's that wind.
And everything besides this wind would make this a pretty ideal little spot.
I remember that stump when the water goes up.
No doubt. That's like that one meme about the 15-pounder that got off, and it's really a stump with a bunch of lures tied to it.
Yeah.
Everybody's catching. Let's go right over here and see what we got. Oh, look at that cat. That deserves one. Come on now. Where you be, snook? It might be too windy for the snook right now. Yeah. It is just cranking. Might try one out there since you said you had a strike. A couple more casts. Then we'll have to call it a day. We got our inner circle call. That's the call we're doing every Thursday with our insider members. We get on a live Zoom call and just talk about what's working, where to fish this coming weekend. We'll talk through stuff like this, because normally by the time you guys hear this, it's been a week, sometimes 2 or 3, and so we always try to give our insiders that real-time, on-demand, quite the opposite of fishing magazines and fishing TV shows that are being filmed now for a year from now to air. We try to get at least our insider member stuff, boom, bam, sham, day it happens, day after worst case. So we do these calls. They've been fun. I missed the last couple because I've been in transit and all kinds of stuff, just running a incredibly fast-growing company. It has just been wild from the amount of new members and the amount of tackle and just trying to keep up with everything. A lot of people don't know, even on just these soft plastics, they're all made out of plastisol, which is some petroleum-based. And most of that was coming from Texas, and Texas had that freeze, and our dad is a textile engineer, and so that is what he did. He actually, they had the type of material that would repair furnaces, incinerators, and power plants. And all of these big manufacturing plants that make this stuff are essentially incinerators and refractories. Gone. And when that freeze happened, everything not only shut down, and when one of those plants or incinerator refractory plant gets shut down, that's bad news. But when things start cracking, which also happened because of the freeze, that's like the worst possible news. So they got to get people like my dad's old company in there to fix it. And then, I mean, wait for it to all, what's it called? Not settle, but whenever you have something that's heated up to whatever the word is. But I mean, they're saying this could be July by the time they even get the plants cranked up again. So the price of plastisol skyrocketed like 40%, and normally like 5% increase would be mind-blowing, and it's up like 40% just because of the supply and demand issues. So it has been absolutely nuts out there. Sorry, Dad, if you're listening, you're ashamed of me. I don't know what that word is. Kennel, furnace, I don't know, healing, settling, it's something like that. But anyhow, it's just been absolutely nuts and taken up a lot of our time just trying to figure out how we can always make sure we have stuff in. Because trust me, it kills us to have to hear from you guys, especially our members, saying, hey, why don't you have this in? Or you guys are out of everything. I mean, trust me, we would love to have everything in. We'd love for people to be buying stuff every single day. I don't think any company out there loves being out of stuff. So just know that you're frustrated. We're super frustrated. We have got so many pending orders out there. It's just not even funny. And it's been one of the most challenging times. It's exciting times because you got more people fishing than ever. You have more people who are wanting to buy tackle, wanting to upgrade their gear and to hit the water. That's all great, but it's also just been a complete nightmare to even plan for this. We used to plan like a month or two in advance. Now we're 18 months. We're literally having to plan out for July of 2022 for what we're buying and what we're investing in when it comes to tackle and new lures and even just the packaging, all the stuff that goes along with it. It has been really, really wild. So we're going to keep doing more posts because what's interesting, we were looking online and no one seems to be really talking about this. Our friends there at J&H up northeast, they do a little bit, but besides that, I mean, the manufacturers are just kind of silent. Like no one's giving real updates on what's happening. So stay tuned on that. And in the meantime, we're going to try to make the best of this last stretch, and it's just getting crazy windy.
Yes, the audio
we're
is probably
going
terrible.
to head back in. At least we got our slam today, and it's respectable for this boat slam, not a personal slam. There is a difference. But at least between Luke and I, we got the slam plus a couple junk fish, and at least made the best, even over a little hour or so of hour and a half of fishing here today, and pretty tough weather. And now, of course, we got a cold front coming in, so that'll be interesting to see what that does. But anyhow, if you haven't joined us in the club, this is your chance. Join us today. We're about almost 22,000 members strong. We would love to have you in there. This works regardless if you're a wade fisherman, regardless if you're in a boat like this, or a little skiff, or a canoe, or a kayak, or a stand-up paddleboard. We would love to have you.
Yeah, and if you haven't yet picked up these Slam Shadies, make sure to do so. Give them a shot.
Now. Come on.
I mean, we even offer a free pack for all the members, or not members, really for all fishermen. Just one that we do lose money on it. You just have to pay a tiny shipping and handling. It's less than the cost of any lure you'll ever see. And just because they work. We're confident you're going to like them.
And we know you're going to come back and buy more.
Yeah, we know you're going to buy more, and then we just hope that you're going to join the club as well. And when you do get it too, we send you a mini course on how to use it, how to rig it, how to rig it for certain situations, right? Sometimes you want to go down deeper, sometimes shallower. You need to rig it properly, and you get all that stuff. So super, super important, and we'll put a link down below for that.
Slamshady.com. We have our own URL for it.
And the underwater footage of the fish hitting it is just amazing. So we'll make sure to link that as well. It's the underwater trout stuff. You can see exactly how they suck it down. It is really, really cool, and it can help with your hook sets, just to know exactly how they set down. So
it is cranking.
So you want to go ahead and end it? And,
yeah, let's end it. It is getting windier and windier. Guys, thank you so much. We are going to call today ourselves, and just at least glad to get out here and at least get a few tight lines on artificial lures, proving once again that you don't have to have a perfect day. You don't have to have crazy live bait, although we do like live bait, and we probably could have caught some great fish just sitting there with some live bait, but you don't have to have it. It can be as simple as just taking a paddle tail lure on owner twist lock hook, same rods and reels you use for all the other stuff, and I'm gonna let that one go with the wind. So we're out of here. Peace. saltshore.com to check out more. Join us in the club and leave us a comment as well. We put every one of these podcasts on the fishing tips section, and that's where we actually look at all the comments. So if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on iTunes, the best place to contact us or to give us feedback is saltshore.com in the fishing tips section. Otherwise, I'm going to battle down the old hat and make sure nothing else flies off. Crazy, man.
Good times.
Yeah, come on.
See ya.
Woo!
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul, it was past